Yo, what's up, my goonies? How are you doing? Um, it's time for a check-in. Um, how's everyone been so far since I last checked in? Hope everyone's doing really well. Um, I just got back from shopping for some clothes because I felt like I needed to go out and, grab a couple things and kind of see what's out there on the market. And I have to say, like, it was so disappointing. I went down to my local, like, outlet shops here in downtown LA, and I was going through all the clothing and, like, shoes and, like, department stores, and I was like, there was nothing. Like, it was, like, really lackluster, and it was the first time I had experienced that in a really long time. One, there wasn't a lot of variety of clothing, which was really shocking to me. I was like, what happened to all the cool things? Like, I had been to this particular, it was H&M that I'm talking about. So I went to this H&M that I've been to before, and I typically find really cool things, like just like really cool basics and like really cool things to like wear and like, unique styles. And I typically can find something. Granted, I'm a little thicker these days because it's my winter weight, but there was like nothing was fitting. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I was just like, I don't, like, who are you measuring these clothes for? It just it felt really lazy. And I just started thinking, on my way back home, fashion industry and fast fashion, I just think they're getting really lazy. Like, who are they trying to be exclusive for? Like, I don't think they have like an understanding of what real bodies look like. They're measuring these fabrics by industry standards. I don't know who created this industry standard that these fabrics are being measured by, but it's not for everyday bodies. Like, it isn't. And it just comes off as you don't care. Like, like it's like the scraps of whatever's left over. But also too, like, just generally, like, the design of these clothing is just, it looks really dated. And I was just like, who are you referencing? Like, these fast fashion companies, like, what are you looking at? Like, who is inspiring you to create this clothing? Like, first of all, who's wearing this clothing? Like, I went to this H&M and I was just like, I'm not like 13. I'm not like a 14-year-old boy. Like, I'm a grown-ass adult. Like, you have to have something that's like, I don't know. Maybe H&M is not for me anymore. Like, maybe I've probably outgrown that store and I need to move on to different stores. But I ended up going to like the Gap and like American Eagle and like all these other stores. And I'm just like, these aren't cool clothes. Like, who's wearing this shit? And also too, like, I feel like I hate wearing jeans now. I don't know, like, I just feel like they're really constrictive of my body and like everything with jeans there. And I was just like, I don't want to wear any of these shitty jeans. Like, they're all ugly. They all don't fit well. Like, it was just really confusing. And like, I was really disillusioned by like the fashion industry. And I was just like, you guys are so out of touch with like what's going on in like everyday people's lives. Like, and it's just so silly how like they try to advertise it and brand it and market it as, oh, we're like being inspired by like runways and shit. Well, like, people can't fit into runway. No one's buying runway clothing, you know what I'm saying? Like who's doing that? Like the 1% of the wealthy that can afford those things, that are being gifted those things because it's all like a business industry. Like, it's so stupid. Like, truly out of touch. And then also too, like, I ended up going to like the Adidas store to like maybe buy some like casual sneakers, and like all the sneakers were ugly. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, who is designing? Who are these designers? Like, really, what are you referencing? Like, what are you being inspired by? Like, how much are you getting paid to design this shit? Like, it just felt like everything was a total wash. The cuts and the colors and like the fit and the styles and like the graphic tees, I was just like, what is this? Like, none of this is cool. It just wasn't cool. That's really like That's really like the whole like messaging, like walking through the entire store. Like I was just like, this shit's not cool. It's weird. Like I should learn how to make my own clothing. I really should. You know who's cool? I feel like the last cool like fast fashion store that I feel like I always look out and like finding something is ASOS. Like ASOS is doing something right. Like, they're size inclusive, and I feel like their cuts are much more interesting, and like their styling and their patterns are much more creative. Granted, I think the ASOS is a European brand, so I feel like they kind of get it a little bit more. It's a European street brand, so like they definitely know what's what. Like they're inspired by us. Like they're inspired by people actually styling and wearing clothes and like being creative. ASOS is doing it right. I feel like I should check out their site and get some fucking pants. Like I was literally looking for pants. I could not find pants. Like all of these pants were like cargo pants, and I was like, who's wearing cargo pants? No one is wearing cargo pants, bro. Like, what is this, 2000? Like, no, bro. Like, let's move forward and get it together. Like, cargo pants should never come back. Stop making it come back. It's not coming back. Like, get over it. I just really had to like release my frustrations. It's so silly. It's so silly. And also too, like these size include, like the biggest size that I was able to look out was like a sweatshirt and a double X, and that's it. Like everything else is just larges. Like you're lucky to find an X large in anything. It's like, why do they only have 1 or 2 X larges and they have like 15 mediums? Who's a medium? That's frustrating to me. Like I've always been a thicker bodied person. It's just my frame, regardless of like the extra weight that I have on. Like I've always been a thick guy. I have broad shoulders, I have long legs, they're thick, I have big feet, I have long arms. Like that's just genetically how I'm designed. And I've always had trouble finding clothing, and I'm just like thinking to myself, it shouldn't be this difficult. Like there should be, I don't even know if it exists, but there should be like a male equivalent of like Lane Bryant, like a bigger size store for men that sells really cool fashionable clothes, not fucking big and tall. Like big and tall is just an exaggeration of what's already on the market. Like there needs to be a store that specifically designs for bigger, thicker bodies, cool clothing, all sorts of styles for like all different occasions. It really does need to exist. Like all my life, I've had trouble fitting into pants. I remember like when I was younger going to the department store and my mom having to buy me like husky jeans. Husky, like that was like the style of the pant, and I was just like, I just didn't know what that meant, and I realize now that it was for thick boys, like thick boy jeans. Walking through these stores, I just had this epiphany. I was like, I'm tired of being shamed for my body because I can't find the clothes that I need to fit into. Like, you need to accommodate to me. I pay money to wear your clothing, so you should be able to like design something really cool that fits my body. That's it. Like, I think 2025 is like the power of the people. Like we're taking it back. Like you are no longer dictating what's cool to us. We've always dictated that to you. You've always looked down to the streets to get inspired, to understand or know what the kids are wearing. And now like we're taking it back. Like you all suck. I'm not giving you my money. Like get your shit together. And you're not cool. Like this whole like exclusivity of fashion is like completely dead. Like we see you, you're not that great, do better, or just don't make clothes at all. Like just stop making clothes. I have to say Blue Bottle has the best matcha lattes. The other day I got a matcha latte from Groundworks Coffee and it was so bad. And I realized, well, actually I didn't realize. I was Googling a Blue Bottle like coffee on my way home. And I realized it was like one, like literally like a couple of blocks away. I had no idea it was there. And I was like surprised. I was like, oh man, I could have been getting these on the daily, just like walking over to get some coffee. But I'm really happy that I discovered that it's there. It's the best. If you haven't gotten a green matcha latte with oat milk from Blue Bottle, give it a try. They're really good. You know, the reason I'm venting about it is because I'm feeling my feelings. Like, I just feel like it's so important to me in my life to like be angry about things that like don't make sense to me. You know, be passionate about things that affect my life because it's like valid to me, you know, like not being able to find a pair of jeans in my size is valid, you know, and I feel like I'm not alone in that. Like I feel like most people have like average bodies, you know, and like it's not like it's unique to me. People wake up in the morning and they're frustrated about the lack of options to them. Another thing that's been on my mind, and it's really devastating news, was the passing of the Drag Race contestant, the Vivienne. I was honestly shocked when I saw that. And you know, I'm not like the biggest like Drag Race fan, but I do enjoy the show, and I do feel that it played a really important part in queer culture. You know, just Drag Race in general. It's been going on for so long. You know, these young people, or just people in general, have an opportunity to showcase these really amazing talents, and I love watching Drag Race. Like I find it really entertaining, and you know, I find the things that the people do on that show really extraordinary. Like they have to be designers and entertainers and singers and comedians. Like it's not an easy thing to do. And when someone goes on that show and does it really well, it's really spectacular to watch. And I feel like the Vivienne did that. I mean, she was the winner of her UK season. And like to like read about her passing, I mean, it's just like the year just started and it's like devastating news, you know, like it just, you know, I was initially shocked by it when I read it and I was like, no, you know, I'm gonna give it some time, maybe it's not true, but like so many sources have confirmed that it's true. And then that person was so young, like they were 32 years old, you know, and I just feel like they had just started their career, and I found her to be really entertaining and like smart and beautiful and like really good at drag and what she was doing. And it's really sad to lose someone so forward facing in the queer community. You know, she was on television, and it's just sad to like lose someone so young and so talented that way. It's sad, and I want to feel that, you know, like I want to feel that loss. And you know, and I think death, I mean, personally I don't deal well with death, but I think it's important to like really process that and really honor the things that she did for the queer community, because I know there's like a lot of like young people and that looked up to this person, you know, as someone that they respected and were inspired by, and now this person's no longer here, and it's sad, you know, and that person had a family, that family loved this person, and now they're gone. And I think more than anything, that's really difficult to deal with. And I think like processing that loss right now is really hard. And I just think it's important to like honor them and like just remember like the legacy, you know. And I think when anyone passes, you know, if they were good, like if they made a difference, like if they made a positive contribution, should be honored and really cherished for like the work and the impact that they did, especially within the queer community. And I feel like there's not a lot of people that do that in our community, or they do, but they're not recognized for the work that they do. it's just a bummer. It's a real bummer to start the year that way. Like we're literally only 6 days into the new year, and like just to receive those news. So like, you know, if you were a huge fan, if you watch Drag Race or you're a fan, or you know, if you're feeling devastated by the news, just like hold space for that for yourself, and you know, love the people that you love, and you know, tell them when you can, and just like, you know, really cherish and like value the time spent with people that make an impact on you and like make you feel good and inspire you to do like the best. Okay, that was me just checking in with y'all. Hope everyone's doing well, taking care of yourselves, loving on yourselves first and foremost. I think bathing is a really great way to make yourself feel good and feel safe. So, you know, take some time to do that for yourself, and again, just be a lot more gentle with yourself. And it's a brand new year, you know, things can look drastically different in people's lives in like 6 months. So, you know, just stay focused on what you're doing, and just be good to yourselves. All right, I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna grab some lunch, and I will check in with you in another video. Until then, keep things goony, and love ya. Bye.